Hi everyone. Hi, my son. Good to see you. Lily in the Valley, how are you? Jean L, nice to see you here. Mother Barbello, checking in. Hello. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. I just felt like, oh, God, with everything going on, I have to say something. So I figure I'd pop on here for a little bit today. Hi, Chantel. Hi, Repented Heart. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you guys. Man, oh man. When was I on? Like 2 weeks ago, really quickly, I think. Things have changed, right, guys? Things have changed a lot. So I wanted to kind of come on here, take a little peek in, say hello, and share a couple of things with you guys. And also tell you guys that I think probably next week, as you guys know me, if you know me, I'm very rarely on YouTube. I just speak when I feel pushed to speak, and that's not very often. So I don't go on YouTube much at all. So I just check my messages and stuff like that. But every year, close to my birthday, that's in April, as you guys know, if you know me, you know my pattern. I go on and I make a video because that's when the sun is at its height for me and it moves me to actually speak. So, although we're not in April now, up to my birthday, the energies now are just pushing me into that kind of vibration. So, and what happens is my sun is in Aries, that sun pushes itself into the light where you guys can see it. And because of my astrological nativity, I don't always put my light outside for people to see because I need to replenish my light because I get very weak and tired. I mean, I'm a very strong person, but when I share and I do this kind of work, it takes a lot of energy out of me. So because of that, my light gets hidden for a bit. So it's so good to see you guys too. You guys don't know, we're in this together. We are in this together. My son says there's a lot going on in the world. There is. Looking forward to your perspective. Yes, there's so much going on. And, you know, I've spoken about this many occasions with a lot of my clients. In the book that I wrote, I spoke about these times. In 2016, when I started seeing everything with the presidency and all the candidates that were running in 2016, and I saw the personality types, I knew that the planets were completely expressing their energy. I had known that there was something coming, but the person who would fit the mold had not manifested itself before, you know, when Obama was president. So I was always curious to see, okay, who's going to fill these shoes? And so when I saw the person that came and I saw, you know, how his divisiveness, you know, just the way he is, I don't have to explain him. I was like, I don't like this guy's personality because it reminds me of a Hitler. I already know the astrological energies that are being expressed for the years that he's running to be president. And so I see so much danger here. And all my life, I was never very political. I was never allowed to vote because I was a Jehovah's Witness. I never, ever voted for a president in my life. And even up to now, but I was moved. It's like, you know, you guys know when you're looking and you're searching and you're being moved to do something and you just can't explain why you have this hunger or this urge and this thirst, just realize that the planets do that to you. And whatever your signature is for your birth chart is how you are going to be, how you are going to respond. And also it will define the interchange between you and the energetic pattern that's coming down to earth. So with Trump, because my nature was antagonized by his personality type, I just couldn't see how people could promote such a divisive character. And so it upset me because I'm an Aries and we fight for the underdog. When we see someone who's a bully, we're like, no, you're not going to bully those people. I'm going to fight for them. And so that's my nature. So being antagonized by his personality made me put out that book the cosmological alignment of Donald Trump in 2016. If you're not heavily into astrology, I wouldn't advise you even looking at the book, because it's just really, really, really heavy. Sometimes when I look at it, I can't look at it much because it's just a lot in there. So I wouldn't advise that you even look for the book. But what I would say is that just be aware that those things, most astrologers knew that we'd be seeing this type of energy that we're seeing on the planet today. We didn't know that there would be, that that there would be certain things like martial law and things like that, but we knew that the possibilities existed, which is why in 2016 in the book I called him a potential Hitler. And not that he would be that drastic, but if given the power, he could be. And he is an individual person. We all are born with our astrological chart where we carry our cross. On the wheel of the chart, you will see the cross. So we carry our cross. He is carrying the cross, and he answered the energy that would serve as president when the most destructive planets or conversations in the sky happen to be going on. And so, hi, Charles. How are you? Nice to see you. Truth be told, nice to see you. It makes me so happy to sit with you guys. Gigi Stir, nice to see you. Let me see who else. Poch Rich Dinios, one, nice to see you. Sandy, nice to see you. Thank you guys for being here today. There's a lot going on, and I know we're all trying to find our center space, right? I know, even me. Hey, Jaringa, good to see you. Mother Barbello, nice to see you. Do you think Mother Earth is giving off the coronavirus? That's an interesting question, because I want to have a 5-hour conversation with you guys. And the reason that I don't know what platform to do it on, but I want to tell you guys everything. 3 years ago, I wrote the second part to my book. And that second part, the first part was so heavy that if you were religious and you read that book, you really couldn't have been religious after it because of the proof was irrefutable. And so the second part of that information I wrote right after I did the first book. I wrote it 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I just couldn't find the way to get myself to actually sit down and organize it and make it where it flows. And so every time I tried to get it done and to publish it, something would block me. And after 2 years of attempting to put it out there, I realized that the universe, it wasn't ready, especially for me, astrologically, it wasn't ready for me to share this next part. And I think part of it is because the first part was shocking enough if you were religious. And the next part, it just tells you everything. And so all the questions that I had, once I discovered the origins of religion and the Anunnaki gods and all of those things, once I discovered that, like you guys, I had questions after that. I was like, okay, now I realized who God is not, right? So I would be like, so who is God? What is God? Like, what are we? Like, why are we here? What is going on? And so all of those questions sequentially just kept coming. And so I followed those kinds of trajectories to find those answers. And sometimes, guys, you know how it is. Like, you turn off your computer so that you can upload it. And, a MacBook functions by the MacBook system. And so you have to shut the computer down so it could be rebooted. And for me, it's like everything that was coming down to me, I was being rebooted all the time. The energy was just so heavy to me that I had to shut myself down so many times because I was just being inundated with data and information. So sometimes I'd sit and I would write, and it would just come to me. And that's how the second book came about. There's over 500 pages in that book. So realizing that I kept being blocked for 3 years and trying to put out Unmasking the Magicians Part 2, I was like, I had to surrender to the fact that, Vera, you may never put this book out. And maybe once I saw everything happening last week on the planet, I was like, maybe you're just supposed to like do a seminar, 5 hour thing, and tell everybody everything. You know what? It probably would be so much easier than me trying to put 500 pages of all that data in a book. You know what? It probably would be so much easier than me trying to put 500 pages of all that data in a book. You know, the page, and you understand that. The next part, I can share and we can discuss it. And so I'm hoping to find a platform. I don't know. Do I do it here on YouTube? I don't think YouTube has a webinar. But when I do, I was what I was thinking was, okay, I've never asked for donations ever with anything I've shared in the past. But in this instance, maybe if people could just out of your heart give what you can to be in the seminar so that I can buy food to give to people who are around my area or in different places that need food at this time. Some of us were able, with these things going on, we were able to go out and buy food and water and prepare our households for the possibilities, right? But believe it or not, there are some people that can't afford to eat. They can't afford to have extra food in their homes. And we have to think about them. We have to think about the fact that some people, their food stamps were cut off. Okay, maybe some people should not have been on food stamps, but there's a huge percentage of people that needed it, right? There are pregnant women, there are people impoverished that needed those food stamps. And so the president decided to cut them off. And even with the coronavirus happening right now, he's not going to change his mind. And so what do we do for the people that we see that have no food? Even if you stored for a month, what if it goes longer? These people aren't going to have anything. And so if we don't care for people who are outside of ourselves, then what's going to happen is they're going to come knocking on our doors. And if they do, guys, what will you have to give to them? And so even in my house, I try to buy extra things so that if someone comes to my house and they're hungry, I can give them something. Or if I know that someone has nothing, I can give to them. Or if I don't want people to know where my house is so they don't come here to try to get whatever little stash I have, I could just put it in an area where I know it's public and just put food there, or maybe serve food one day. But the problem is what they're saying with this being contagious. So there's a lot of stuff we can discuss here today. I'm sorry, I'm going to just read a couple of comments here. You started my whole journey for change years ago. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me. I'm you, right? We all went through, so many of us have so much in common with our beginnings. We all live in this realm here. And in this realm, there is indoctrination. There are things that they teach us or things that they do to suppress us. And so what I learn, I share, right? And that's our job, is to share with one another. And again, Aries, Sun, and my astrological chart. Guys, if you look at the astrological wheel, there's 360 degrees. There's a longitude line and a longitude and latitude line. So it's a circle and it's like this. And all of us have it in our charts. And we have 12 different portions, almost like a pizza pie cut into 12 pieces. But those major parts right there, that is like the pillars or the structure that holds up the entire 360-degree wheel. It holds up all the other 12 houses in your zodiac wheel. So whatever you have on the main longitude and latitude line is going to be the cross that you bear. And depending on what it is going to tell part of your life purpose. And so for me, my lines, both of them, are on the most pivotal parts of every zodiac wheel. Every zodiac wheel is held up by these 4 points. And I have all those 4 points in my chart. And it's just ridiculous. And I was like, can it stop already? But looking at my chart, there's more that's going to come. I have to try to also make sure I replenish myself, because I could get, just taking care of my health and things like that, because my chart just it's very, very, very powerful. And just because your chart is powerful doesn't mean that you're anything great. It's just what you came in here with. And so because my chart is like that, I want to come, I've always felt impulse to just come and share and try to help people to find the answers that are going to give them more peace, or the answers that's going to help them and to help them help other people. And so it's not easy. Truth be told, peace and love, glad to see you. Thank you so much. Glad to see you. And truth be told, hey love, good to see you and hear from you, Queen. Thank you so much. You too. Be safe. Be safe. Charles Conroy, hi Vera, and hi all. Charles says hello to everyone. Sandy Hall, do you think, all right, so do you think Mother Earth is cleansing us? So again, I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent, Mother Barbello. There are a lot of factors that are involved in this. We do have one of the planetary energies that are hitting the Earth, Mother Earth. And so, of course, when this happens, this planetary energies does not hit the sign of Taurus for hundreds of years. And so for it to actually come, it takes a number of a long period of time for this particular planetary energy to come into the Earth. And so by it being in the Earth atmosphere, that means that it is a planet of disruption. So of course it will be disrupting Mother Earth's balance. And that disruption has also been because human beings have not been kind to Mother Earth. You know, she's a giver and everyone's been a taker. And so now we can see that she is not going, she's agitated. She's very much agitated. And then at the same time, we have all of these other planets up there that are fighting. And I use that terminology just so you guys can understand what is going on. There is war in heaven, and as above, so below. That war in heaven gets put down here on the earth. And it gets manifested through us as individuals who are antennas, you see? And depending on your astrological chart is the program, MacBook, Microsoft, Dell, that you carry with you. And you will function in accord to that system. So JW Suicides, am I trite just wanting to have your hair? Oh, thank you. It's a lot. It's a lot. Thank you so much. Sometimes I have to stay home because I can't do this head. So anyway, thank you so much. Paul Mack, good to see you. Good to see you. JW Suicides again wrote, I'm sorry, I don't know, your book sounds fascinating. Thank you. Thank you. I just share in it what helped to free me from, JW. I assume that you were Jehovah's Witness also. So the information in that book is what helped me to be free from the Jehovah's Witnesses and also from religion and the Bible and the idea of God and all of those things. The information that I found, I shared in the book. And so if you're interested, definitely find that book. I'm going to write down the name of it for you guys. It's called The Age of I Know, Unmasking. Oops. Sorry, Unmasking the Magicians. So if you notice, the book is called The Age of I Know, which is, if you know anything about astrology, the age of Aquarius is the age of the water bearer. And so the age of Aquarius is a time period where information like water will become very abundant. And so having been on this journey that I've been on, and having, before when I was in religion, I just believed what was given to me. I just believed it, right? But when I was moved by the energies to now question what I believed, I went on a search for for data. And so I went to historical sources, and the information that I gathered was information that I myself gathered and put the story together, the puzzle together, without someone else like religion being the authority. By putting that information together, I was able to use the verbiage that I know. No longer do I believe Pisces. Pisces is a sign of belief, or the age of Pisces, but it is the age of knowing. And so what it is that we will now put our energy in will now be what we've proved to ourselves. It's no longer going to be conjecture or credulity, but it's going to be based on proof. And so that is why it is the age of I know, unmasking the magician. So I combine astrology with religion and the source of religion on the earth, which are the Anunnaki gods. And when I do that 5-hour thing, we're going to go into the Pleiades. We're going to go into all the different alien beings that have affected us here on the earth. We're going to go into that. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes, it would, but only as a tour releases to give it to us. You know what we as humans can handle. That's it. Aslan, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining us. And that's it. That's why I know that I did not put the book out 3 years ago, because the information was just too much for people to prepare their vessels for. It was just too much. And so I didn't put that out and I know that that's why it wasn't so easy for me to put that out, because somehow the universe or whatever consciousness is behind it was like, it's not time yet. Give people time to process the first part. And so I know it took years for me to process what I had uncovered in my first book. It wasn't easy. I felt like I was going to die. And so even with that book, I tried to be very careful in how I presented it. I tried to be very careful and not to push it on people that were not ready. So you're so right, Aslan. You have to handle things with kid gloves. And that's why I feel responsible to be responsible with whatever else I share with you guys that are going to put the rest of the equation together. Okay. Sandy Haiti. I'm sorry, my eyes are not that good anymore, so I can't find my reading glasses. Sandy Haiti. So forgive me if I don't say your name right. Try to download Zoom for live streams. Thank you. I'm going to try to do that. I see lots of people using it. Okay, I'm going to do that. And hopefully, Sandy, I can get on next week, guys. Poochie, I'm sorry, the 19, I'm going to call you 19. You can put it on Amazon. Okay. Oh, the 5-hour class? And Bright 777, one another's mind. Oh, okay. Vanessa Rogers, good to see you. Good to see you. Hi, Vera. Good to see you. I miss your videos. I know. I miss you guys. And so much. There have been so many times where I wanted to just go and make a video and just share everything. But it takes so much energy to make a video, and it takes so much energy to edit a video. And I'm not good at any of it. And I'm a one-woman show. And that coupled with I can only be present if I'm urged somehow to be present. And it's not like something says, let Vera go on the camera. It doesn't. I don't know. I just get pushed to speak. And so I'm glad to be here today. I'm glad, guys. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much. Primer Prim. Thank you. Mother Barbello, thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. Is that a way to give back to Mother Earth? Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's calling out. And guys, if we look around at everything in the totality of what we're seeing in the world today, we can see the agitation. The agitation has been building. So many of us were grieving at the things that we saw happening in the world even 10, 20 years ago. And now everything's coming to a climax. And why? Why is everything coming to a climax now? And so some people will say it's religious. I don't know if you guys were able to see what I wrote on YouTube today. I wrote, even on Facebook, in the Facebook group, I wrote about a paragraph's worth, not a paragraph, a whole letter's worth of what is actually happening right now astrologically, because I think it's very important for everyone to understand that. And, sometimes when things go bad, people are like, all right, God, because that's all you know. And then when you don't you've unraveled the mystery and unmasked the mystery. It's like, what do you do now? What do you lean on? And so, if you've been building to your understanding, you have learned within yourself that there is a power even within you, that even when things are going bad, that you can stand. And so I learned that from myself. I think I mentioned to you guys where a couple of years ago, the doctor told me that I had cancer. And I was like, everyone in my family's healthy. My parents are healthy. How could this happen? And then it took a whole year for them to realize that I was misdiagnosed. And so I say that to say that, we are all, wait, I'm sorry, hold on. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I just say that to say is that the journeys that all of us are on, and especially when you unmask the magicians and realize where God is not, you learned after a while of being in this space to be able to find the power that was always there. At that time period that they told me for a year that that was wrong with me, I never once prayed. I never once opened up the Bible because I had already been there. I already knew that what that was, and the data that I had found was too powerful for me to go back there. And in fact, when I had started to unravel this mystery years ago, when I was still part of religion, there was a part of me that tried to stay in religion. And the universe kept like knocking me down. I kept feeling I didn't feel well because I kept trying to retreat back to what was safe. And we are all on this road where we're no longer safe anymore. Everything that we always thought was the pillar of our foundation, our security, it's all being questioned now. And if we have not done the work to unravel and unmask what is real and what is not, then we are not going to be able to stand, because even the religious houses are falling. If you notice, they're not supporting the people. They're not making the people feel safe anymore. Nothing that we have ever felt safe with before is going to be here, and it's not here. We can see that. So the idea is to find your inner strength, and your inner strength is not reached until you have unmasked what is not true, because your spirit hates the lie. It doesn't like the lie because the lie does not vibrate in a frequency of health. And so we can continue to retreat. That's okay. We all here on our journey. Some of us in our chart are here to believe. Some of us in our chart are here to no longer and here to expose. And so you know what you are being urged with within your own vessel. You know that if you try to believe that maybe you get thwarted in the process, you know. And so depending on who you are and who you know yourself to be, that is how you will proceed, or hopefully you will proceed. Try to proceed where you find answers, because we're all seeking answers. And because your soul is seeking answers, that means that that is the remedy that your soul is requesting. Let me see who else. Thank you for answering. Oh, okay. Let me see. Creator is no dog, Vera. Wow. Right. God, right? What is God? Great point. Exactly. Bright 77. Where can we purchase the book from? Oh, okay. You know what? You can email me at Vera. Oops, hold on. 360 degrees. Vera360degrees at gmail.com. And again, guys, if you have read, oh, sorry, that's wrong. If you have read book 1, don't worry. I don't feel like I'm going to, who knows, maybe I'll put book 2 out on paper somewhere in the future. But at the moment, for you guys, I'm going to share it in that class. I'm just going to break it all down. I'm going to show you guys every level of every paradigm so that you see the picture. And I am not saying I know everything. I don't know everything. But what I know is wow. What I know I don't want to toot my horn. I don't want to do that, but it's the data. So I give credit to the data. What I have unraveled is the answer to the next question that everyone will ask in sequence from what you've left. Whatever you've left and you've proven, there's another question behind that. There always is if you're seeking. And those are the questions that I asked, and those are the questions that I found answers to. And so when you know this, but be prepared. I wrote on the thing, be prepared. If you are not ready to receive this part, don't come in the class. Okay? So really get in touch with yourself and realize how much you want to know. You know what? With the thing with this corona stuff happening now, you can't, there's no possibility that you're not facing a reality that isn't good to you, that you don't enjoy looking at. You're probably scared. I mean, we're not scared now, right? Because we've kind of had this process for a number of years. So we've been prepared for stuff, right? But, it's with what we will see and the possibilities of what could manifest from what we see, we're already going to face stuff we never wanted to face before. So that takes strength. So how much strength do you have and can you have so that you can move on and find out the rest of this? And so the reason that I felt compelled to share the rest of this is because I'm like, no, there's no way that not only the magicians of the Bible, the Anunnaki, but the government, every part that is involved in this, I'm going to expose. It's time to expose the entire scheme. And I think people deserve to know. You deserve to know these answers. And this way, when you know certain things, then that means your energy is not expelled in something that is not real and is not true. You now put your energy into something that is real. Okay? Someone wrote, okay. Thank you, Truth Be Told. Aslan said, excited for the new info. We overstand the label of the Anunnaki and are ready for more. Good, Aslan, good. I'm glad that so many of you are prepared, I'll tell you, when I did the second part, when I started getting the information after my spirit was found the stuff that I put in book 1, when I started getting into the area of part 2, I was like, it was just heavy for me. And that's because, my process from book 1 already began straight after. But for everybody now, you've been in this mode for a while now, and I think you're ready. In fact, you're probably so frustrated because you're like, what the heck is real now and what isn't? Or what is and what is not? That's what I want to share with you guys, okay? Your skills are great. Thank you, Capricorn King. You're one of the pillars, Capricorn. That's right. Let me see. We know, Vera. Yes, thank you, Bright77. Hit the like button. Thank you, guys. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, that would be good. Don't let them do that, Vera. Oh, Vera 747. Sorry again, my eyes. Correct, Vera. The knows doesn't know, but the who doesn't know. Right. Exactly. Charles Conroy says, no, Vera, we're not scared. Good. Don't be afraid. Because you know what? If we're afraid of things, then we will be scared. Okay? And I'd rather be in a place where I know, because I have more fear when I don't know. I just have the type of spirit that needs to know, because once I know, then I can accept what is. But if you're deceiving me and lying to me, I'm going to be in fear because I haven't unraveled the mystery myself. You gave me what parts you want to give me. But when I go on a quest to uncover and unmask myself, then I'm looking at the data and I'm able to make an educated decision based on that data. I'm so glad you guys aren't scared. Do you know, Vera, that Caltech may have found Nibiru? Wow, Mac, that's interesting. Could you send me information on that? Wow. Guys, it's crazy. Okay. Let me see. Answer it for me, Vera747. Okay, if you asked something or wrote something and I didn't see it, you could write it again, okay? We're ready at least. Good, Charles. Very good. Let me see. Yes. So, really quickly, I wanted to share with you guys, with this coronavirus stuff going on, it's very easily seen in the nativity charts of China, the United States. You can even see it in Italy. What's happening in Italy when you look at their chart as well. Just like every individual has a natal chart, so does every country, every location. Like, when was Washington, D.C.? When was it called D.C.? Whatever date that was now becomes a nativity for Washington, D.C. America became independent in 1776, July 4th. So that is America's birth date, right? So based on all of that, that is what an astrologer will look at to see the things that are going to happen to that particular country. I study the president's chart as well. I can look and see what can happen to him. And astrology, it gives you an understanding of energy. And what we do as astrologers is we translate the energies and what kind of patterns they can manifest on the planet. So I can give you, let's say that, there's a planet Mars Mars is a planet of war. So if I see Mars as a planet of war, very strong in an upcoming event, I'm going to be like, wow, there's a potential for war here, right? And so dependent on those type of things, I can say there's a potential for war. There's also potential for people to fight each other or argue. There's combativeness going on. Or there's also a potential for love, like real strong fire behind someone's love, right? So dependent on the person or the country or whoever it is I'm looking at the chart for, they can fall into any of those patterns. But that energy, the strength of that energy is what I describe. And so at this time, we're living in the energetic patterns that are causing, war. There's a potential for war coming up. There's a potential for pandemics. We have planets that tell us that carry the vibration of pandemics. And so when they start to align themselves in certain ways, as an astrologer, we're like, oh my goodness, there could be a pandemic. And that is what's being highlighted in the charts, not only for America, but for the world at this moment. And so, knowing these things, you can kind of prepare yourself for what can come. And so, some of the things that I wanted to share with you guys are some things that could help you with what is going on. Some people say that this was planned in China. I have varying degrees of what I think is really, I'm going to share something with you guys when we do the 5-out, when we do the webinar, that's going to blow your mind. And I have my different views on so many of these, and it's based on the information that I already have shared or I've written about. And so with the coronavirus, I can now just add that to the equation and put it where it goes in my puzzle and see the whole picture. And so because of that, there were things that I prepared my house for. And because I wasn't like energetically moved to do a video on it, I just didn't. But I wanted to share with you guys now some of the things that can help your households, whether this is planned in a laboratory or whether it's just the time period. But the chart shows that this is something that we would be facing at this time. I mentioned in one of my posts about a couple of weeks ago that in May, up into about, not May, excuse me, March 21, the spring equinox, when Aries comes into, the new year, we're going to find it's going to get worse. Okay, so look for that time period. And it doesn't mean that day, the 21st, 22nd, but it's just going to keep building. Okay, and it could climax at that time. And additionally, I was saying how towards mid-April, it might get a little less crazy for us. We might not be so agitated as when we turn on our TV, it won't be so bad. But that doesn't mean it's not going to come back. And so have yourself ready, because it can reproduce itself. And because the planetary energies do not show that it'll be gone this year or even next year or the next year after that. Okay. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. We are living at a time, think about it, the planetary energies that are hitting right now, they put all of it together. But let's say you put the Black Plague, the Spanish influenza, World War I and World War II, and you put 9/11 all together. That's where we're looking at. And so these are things that don't just happen out of the blue. They happen because of what's happening above. And so looking at those planetary energies, we can see these fireworks that are about to happen or that have already started to happen. And so I want you guys to know that it's going to be here for a while. You know, I mentioned even in my other book, I said 2020 through 2024, but really up to 2026, it's going to be hard for America. It's going to be hard for the world. Okay. And, you know, I told a lot of people, a lot of my clients, I'd be like, prepare your money, make sure you have enough money, prepare your household, you know, just be ready because, you know, whatever you could think that's bad, that could happen, that's what can happen. Okay. So I just wanted to share a couple of things with you guys. I'm going to read some of the comments first that I have in my house as remedies and stuff like that. And you do your due diligence. Study them yourself. It's really important. Don't go by me. All of us have different constitutions, different bodies. Some people are on medication, some people are not. So depending on your research with what I share, figure out what you want to have in your home just in case, okay? So let me see. I'm going to go with Conman TV. Hey, Vera, welcome back. Thank you. Missing your energy. Thank you so much. I miss you guys too. And Kirk Belmont, the laws of reciprocity are in play. The God of the universe is working like the angel of death in Egypt. These countries are under judgment for wickedness against all innocent nations. Thank you for sharing that, Kirk. Thank you. I'll talk on that in a minute. Mother Barbello, do you have a website for the class? That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to, if you guys email me, everyone who's interested, if you're interested in that 5-hour tell-all, write me at this email, okay? And I'll send you the information once I figure out what platform, probably Zoom, like was mentioned, I'm going to be on. And hopefully that's next week because I think it's critical that you guys know this stuff now, okay? So let me see. Capricorn, we're forced to do right because let me see, we can be fooled easily. Yeah, we're being fooled. And this whole thing from the Anunnaki to the governments to everything, guys, once you see the mask that has been put on us and the blinders that have made us religious and think that all of this is religious and just the entire program and indoctrination. Once you see this, you're going to totally get it. You're going to know what happens. Okay. Let me see. Hey there, Daryl Richardson. Hello. Capricorn King, my Earth says your hair looks nice. Oh, tell her thank you so much. Her name is Replenished. Oh, what a beautiful name. I love that. Well, we're going to need a lot of replenishing, guys. Thank you so, so much. That's a beautiful name. It's not Vera. Okay. Verge the Astrologer. There's my son. Verge the Astrologer is my son, guys. My SON. And he's an astrologer too. You can check him out on Instagram, YouTube. Vigilio, write down your stuff. My son's been dishing stuff out, and I was hoping that he could do this 5-hour thing with me, but we're in different states. But gotta share everything with you guys. Great to see that fine, beautiful teacher goddess once again. Thank you so much. Hoyo Opa Apela. I hope I said that right. So okay, so yes. So I'm gonna share a couple of things that I have in my home that I think all of you should try to get. A lot of these things are still in stock on Amazon as well. And so there you go. My son put down his information. So one of the first things that I think is going, I had to learn a lot. I love you, baby. Love you. Mwah. I had to learn a lot about the respiratory system because my baby, my daughter, has asthma. She had it really bad when she was younger. She was in the ER. She was hospitalized a number of days, a couple of times. And it was just a journey year after year, month after month. She always caught a cold and it always turned into asthma. And I always had to sit vigil for like days at a time, sometimes 4 or 5 days at a time, just to help her recoup and get back. And sometimes reluctantly, I had to use Western medicine because sometimes, guys, sometimes we have to combine them. We live in an existence that we were not given the answers from the gods or the God, and so, and because it's been set up this way, we have no choice sometimes but to use the artificial. And so oftentimes, if I use natural things on my daughter, there was some triage moments where I had no choice but to give her the poison. But it saved her life over and over again. If I tell you guys, she was sick all the time. And now she's been so good within the last number of years. She's older now. I feel like she's outgrown asthma. But just in case, I'm always careful. You never think you're done. You keep everything that you need in your possession. And so, of course, in my home, I keep the Western asthma medicine, and I save that for the last resort. But I also keep other things in my home that have helped me to help her sometimes not need medicine. It has brought her out of critical spaces of respiratory issues. And I really feel like they saved a lot. So I'm going to share a lot of those things with those. But the number one thing, and a lot of people don't know about it, that everyone should have in their home, especially with this virus, is one of these. Okay? This is called a salt therapy pipe. What it is it's pink. Let me just get the pink salt. So if you guys see, this is one of my grinders, but it's pink Himalayan salt, and they're the big granules. So what you do is on the bottom of this, you put the granules in there, and if you notice, there are holes to keep it dry. And I have my name on it so that family members are not sharing it. But what you do is, it's a pipe. So I'm not going to put my mouth on it on the camera, but it's a pipe. So you put your mouth on it and you breathe in, almost like people do with an asthma pump. So you suck in, you hold it in your chest, and you allow the salt to clean your airways. So if someone doesn't mind, Virgilio, can you go on Amazon, get a link to this, find the cheapest one, because some people try to sell it expensive. Sometimes you can get it for $10 with the salt. So if you can go on Amazon for me, get the link and post it to the bottom here for people. So what you do again is you suck in the air. You only shake it once. You don't shake it a lot because you don't want all the salt to get all around and you suck in a bunch of salt. Just enough. So you shake it once and you hold it, and then you breathe out, move it away because you don't want to blow the moisture into the bottle to create dampness. So you move it away and you let it out through your nose. Okay. And then you do it again, and you do it throughout the day, especially if you know you're getting a cold or you're getting sick or someone has asthma. Throughout the day, you have them suck it in, hold it. And what this does is so amazing. So I want you guys to do research. I want you guys to look it up, what the salt therapy pipe does for your lungs. And so I know for my daughter, it saved her so many times. Okay. And there were times where I did not need an asthma pump. I did not need Western medicine for her because I had this. But because I am a Cancer rising and I am a mother, Cancer is the mother, A mother does not just have one thing in her arsenal. She gets many more things. And so this is my number one, which I say you should have without a doubt, especially with this coronavirus going on. They say it starts off with a dry cough. So if you notice you have a dry cough, if you cannot hold your breath for more than 10 seconds without coughing, just be aware. And also what happens is the dry cough turns into mucus, and the mucus, like in asthma, it blocks the lungs, so you can't get enough air. And so in order to avoid that, the salt is going to help the passages clean themselves. It's going to kill the bacteria and the germs in your lungs. And then, because again, I'm a Cancer rising and I'm a mother, this is not the only thing that I use. I also make sure that I have hold on guys, I got to get this for you because you have to see it, okay? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to get my entire supply because I just have so much, but I buy bags like this off of Amazon. Now, you go to a health food store, they're going to give you like a little pocket of this and charge you like $10 for something, right? Even on YouTube, you see people selling herbs, and I'm like, what a crime, because on Amazon, you can buy a pound. This is a pound of herbs. So whatever herb you're looking for, you can find on Amazon in a pound bag, and you can supply your household with what you need. So again, besides the salt therapy pipe, I have this particular one right here is called mullein leaf, okay? Mullein leaf, once you use the salt, and if you have a lot of mucus, and that's a problem for asthma, it's a problem for a cold, it's a problem for the flu, you want to keep your lungs clean. And so the mucus will bring bacteria, will bring germs, and it clogs you. So in order to get that out, there are certain herbs that you can use, and one of them is called mullein leaf, okay? So I bought this on Amazon. I probably paid less than $20 for this. So read on how it benefits, but mullein takes mucus out like no joke, okay? So you get yourself some mullein and you have it in your arsenal for your family. Go online, do your due diligence, and study how to use it. I add, if I'm making like a combination of different herbs, you see I have like 20 bags of different ones. Maybe I'll take a scoop of this, put it in the water, take a scoop of other things that I know are going to harmonize it and make it even work more. That's what I do. And I always have ginger in my house. So fresh ginger. So I take the fresh ginger, and if I know if I have too much ginger and I know it's about to go bad, I'll chop it up, I'll boil it, I'll create a liquid juice in it and put that in the refrigerator. And every time I make tea, I add some of that to it. So you want that, you want lemons, you want limes. It's going to run out in the store if everything keeps happening the way that it is, guys. You might not, we went to the store, there was nothing left. Okay, there are people in Italy, they're going to the stores, there's nothing. A friend of mine from the UK showed me pictures of the store, guys. You do not want to be left with nothing. And so not only do you want to get canned foods and you want to look at the date, you want to get rice, you want to get flour, all the things that make sure you have a supply that's more than a month or two. I don't know how long they can keep people in the house for, but they could, if you notice, guys, they could do anything to us. We're powerless. There's nothing we could do. If they make a law, we have to follow it. And so be prepared for whatever possibilities. And as a mother, as a father, do your due diligence to think of everything that could happen and be prepared for it. And we can't control everything, but whatever we can, let's make sure that we do it. So again, mullein leaf, the salt therapy pipe, you want to get thyme. Now you cook with thyme, right? Did you know that it helps to clean bacteria and germs out of your lungs? So buy thyme. Even if you have some of the seasoning in your cabinet, Just boil it like you would a tea. And that, I'm telling you, has been a lifesaver for my daughter as well when she was dealing with asthma. So that lemon verbena. So I'm going to put thyme, lemon verbena. There's got to be a better way for me to have all of this written here, but lemon verbena is really great. They use that in Europe and it works so well. What else? What do I have here? Now this, I think every house should have. I also bought it in a big bag on Amazon. Get it, because a lot of people who were dealing with, let's say, what's that disease, like malaria and stuff, the people who were drinking this are the ones that were able to overcome it. And you guys eat the fruit. Did you know that you could drink papaya tea? So all of they cut it up, the shrubs and all of that, and it comes in a tea form. And you drink this, it'll raise your blood count if you're dealing with blood issues. Again, do not go by me. Do your research. And it also it cleans out infections, all of those things. So I know that with the coronavirus, if I have this alone, and even the mullein and that pipe, I know just these three things alone are going to be very, very powerful. So make sure you get yourself some papaya on Amazon, okay? And when you put it in, put bulk, B-U-L-K, and it'll come with all the big bags. Don't spend your money on these people that send you a little cup of stuff. They shouldn't be doing that. This is less than 20 bucks. What else? I have sorrel. Everybody knows about sorrel. I have my apple cider vinegar. What else? If I think of other things, I'll let you guys know. But there's something else I want to grab really quickly that I think you guys should invest in as well. Hold on. So I contacted just because, again, a mother should be prepared for everything. And even though I haven't had to use Western medicine on my daughter for a long time when it comes to her asthma, I still called her doctor and I was like, I need you to send me albuterol. Albuterol, the pump doesn't work so well on her. It's this that does. So I asked the doctor, can you please give me a prescription for albuterol? Normally, if I have asked that in the past, the doctor would give me like 10 boxes. Look at all that she gave me this time. They know something. Okay? So I'm going to call Monday and ask for more. And usually the date on it expires very quickly. So when I go to the pharmacy, I'm like, can you give me a later date? So yeah, so if you need that too, make sure you get your medicines ordered, okay? So another thing that is very important for you guys that everyone should have, especially with anything that's dealing with respiratory issues, this virus that's going around, you want to have this, right? I made my son this tea when he was sick, right? It works, doesn't it? When my kids I'm like right on duty. I don't even sleep, but thank goodness my kids are healthy now. So this, okay? When you're dealing with respiratory issues, what happens, especially with a cold or bacterial infections, bronchitis, let me tell you, I've told people about this. Their bronchitis was gone. Their pneumonia gone, okay? This, number one. So, but when you're dealing with those things, what happens is because of bacteria and the mucus, you're not able to breathe enough. And so you want to know, with my daughter, I always wanted to know, okay, how bad is her breathing? Is she getting enough oxygen? So for 10 years, I've had this. And it's like an oxygen odometer, I think it's called. I don't really know what it's called. I ordered it on Amazon, less than $10. And this, you put your finger in it. When you go to the doctor, they want to check your oxygen. So they put your finger on it and they're able to see whether you're getting enough oxygen in your body. And so based on that, we'll let them know if you're in triage or not. So, if your oxygen goes below like 96, you kind of like, if you take the number and you see it's like less than 96, 95, that means that your body's kind of struggling to get oxygen. And depending on whatever number you do research and your doctor tells you, then that means it's time for the ER, you know? So this is really handy to have, especially if you have breathing issues or breathing problems, and especially during this coronavirus thing, you want to keep track of how your oxygen is working. And again, if you feel like your oxygen is low when you look on this, start doing this and it'll start to help you clear and get your oxygen up. Okay, right? It clears it right up. See, my son is testifying right here. And also for the nebulizer stuff, I bought on Amazon, I bought a little machine that doesn't need to be plugged in, because I was moving to Egypt at the time when I got that. And I was like, what if I don't have electricity? What if I'm running somewhere and I need to give my daughter medicine? So I got this one that works with batteries. So you can find a nebulizer thing with batteries. A lot of people use colloidal silver. I'm sure you guys know about that. I have astragalus. Astragalus, guys, is another amazing astragalus. Another amazing therapeutic tonic for the lungs. Hi, Maddox. Keith Johnson, you are so on point. I have all that. See, we think alike. When you're on the mission to try to find remedies and stuff, we're in the age of knowing. The computer, the internet enabled us to know. And so when we use that, we find what we need to find. So yeah, and also, sage your home. Sage kills bacteria that's floating around in your house. So you want to sage your house. Of course, cleanliness, bleaching and stuff like that. We all know that, right? And if I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know. At the moment, I can't remember anything else that I do use. This is another thing that would be great for you guys to look at. Again, do your due diligence, please, please. This is called food grade. I'm giving you guys all my arsenal for everything. Food grade, diatomaceous. I might have spelled it wrong, but you'll find it. Tomaceous earth. And this is very, very good. I have a huge, like 75-pound bag, but it's the food grade. Make sure you get the food grade or you'll poison yourself with the one that's not food grade. And that is amazing. You're going to see the list of what it does for you. And I think at this time period that we're going through, I'm very happy that I purchased this years ago and it's in my home just in case, because I'll be taking it daily and giving it to my family daily as well. Knowledge is power. That's right, Paul. That's right. It kills parasites. Yep. Diatomaceous earth kills parasites. It kills, let's say you think you poison yourself. When you go to the hospital, they're giving you charcoal. Charcoal and diatomaceous earth have a lot in common. So, and it has silica in it. It has vitamins and nutrients in it. Yep, parasites can't live with that stuff. And when you take the diatomaceous earth, let me get it and show you guys. Oh yeah, one more thing. Diatomaceous earth. So that's it. When you take it, you put it in water, but you don't use any metal when you put it in water, because it takes metal out of your body. So, which is incredible. So, any kind of metal poisoning you have, even just the fact that some of us have fillings, we eat fish, which has mercury. This is the answer. Okay. So you don't use metal when you're stirring it. I tend to use like a wooden spoon or something. You let it rest a minute and then you drink it. And this is another thing that this has been when I had the worst sinus infection in the world. This saved my life. I went through 3 courses of antibiotics. This was in the year 2000. Nothing helped me. And I had to do my own research, and I discovered fenugreek. Okay, so I'm going to write that down also. Fenugreek. That is amazing. And you take fenugreek in combination with cayenne pepper. Okay, so if you get the cayenne pepper pills, they burn sometimes. So sometimes you'll see the ones that say cool cayenne, so it doesn't burn. So you get cayenne pepper and fenugreek pills, and you take them both in combination. If you have a sinus infection, also during this time, because fenugreek also, along with the mullein that I shared, fenugreek removes mucus. Okay? So this is another mucus fighter that you want in your arsenal. You have to have that. People, this is a food. This is an ingredient for food in Indian cooking. So just realize that, people cook with this. So I don't feel any kind of, worry when I take it, because I can make a meal with it. So also do your research on this. Okay, guys? Lemon water and ginger. Yeah. And get as much ginger as you can. We went to the store today. The ginger was gone. It was gone. So whatever ginger you can find, go and rack up on it. Okay. And thank you guys for sharing on the side what your stuff is, because we need each other. I also advise, if you have to stay home, it's going to cause a lot of mental health issues for people. You're going to get bored. You're not going to know. The mental health will lead to depression for some people. Take your vitamin D. Have your vitamin D on hand. Okay. Try to go in the sun. Have your vitamin C. Take vitamin C, okay? Take your vitamin C. Oh, Keith Johnson said if anyone needs albuterol, he'll send it for free. That's so sweet. Thank you, Keith. That's beautiful. Yeah, because unfortunately, the Western medicine does help, especially in triage. So we got to be prepared. So you guys, so we talked about this. Any of you want to talk about some other things besides the 5-hour thing? Because that's when I'm gonna actually I never write notes, but I actually got a book, and I'm gonna kind of write everything that I want to just break down for you guys in that conversation. So we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna learn a lot. We're going to free our minds, and we're going to know what is. Okay? Yeah, we are family. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Let me see if I missed some people's stuff. Keith Johnson says, I was at 9/11. Oh, wow. And I have a heavy stock of Advair, Pro Air, and any steroid. I have a lot. Oh, that's so sweet. And a lot of herbs. Isn't that wild, Keith? Because, my husband too was at 9/11. And so because of that, I had to do a lot of researching to try to find ways to cleanse him, because I knew that actually we went to an iridologist. I don't know if you guys know the study of iridology. I actually started studying that. We went to an iridologist after 9/11, and the iridologist looked in my husband's eye, and right away she goes, where were you? And we're like, what do you mean? She's like, you are toxic. Like, your whole body, I've never seen anyone more toxic than you. What is going on with you? What do you do? So we kind of told her what happened, and she's like, oh my God. She's like, this is an emergency. He needs cleaning right now. So that put us on the road to fasting. We started doing the lemonade fasting. And then I started just researching herbs and things like that, and the cleansing. So when we are in a position of urgency, like 9/11, or like we are now, it forces us to become proactive, because we're responsible for ourselves. Yep, get frankincense. Absolutely. Absolutely. And with the frankincense and even the thyme, you can get the thyme essential oil. If someone's having respiratory issues, you can mix it with a little carrier oil, like olive oil or something, and rub it on the bottom of their feet. So while you're giving them stuff inside, you can also rub those essential oils on their feet as well. Yeah, so things like this force us to become proactive because we are the, we're responsible for ourselves and the people that we love. And so good. I'm so glad that you were moved to get all those things that you needed and that you're willing to share it with people. Thank you. Thank you. Hola, there's Ada Martinez. How are you, sis? Good to see you. She says hello, everyone. And Kabin Asfar, how are you? Says, I think the COVID-19 is about the fleet of ships that are by the sun, Corona, and the inbound planet that is in our solar system. Wow. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about a lot. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to share a lot of things. And I'm also going to ask you guys, it's going to be 5 hours, but you know me, I'll go for 10. You guys can share stuff as well. It'll be a nice interchange, okay? Bright 77, the octagon shape shows their own ignorance. Yeah. There's a lot of things that they've been telling us for years, and we were asleep. I'm hoping Darrow Richardson asked when. I'm hoping to do the class next week. So again, you guys can contact me at my email. When you contact me, I'll have your email. And when everything is set up, I'll be able to send you guys all the information. So vera360degrees at gmail.com. Okay? And if every once in a while, if someone wants to keep writing that and repeating my email, you can do that as well. I'd appreciate that. Yeah. So, yeah. So again, right now we're at a very pivotal time. Don't be afraid, guys. You can only control what is within your power. If this doesn't work, I can't beat myself up. I can only do what it is that I can do. As far as, another thing is sarsaparilla. I have sarsaparilla. The Honduran one is the best one, but you can't find that. Sarsaparilla. That's very, very good for like infections and things like that. Kirk Belmont, everyone buy her book. Oh, thank you. It will teach you where the world got its government systems and leadership pathology. Oh, Kirk, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It was hard when I first did it. I was like, I don't know if I should put this out there, but you know what? I'm going to put it out there because people need to know. And when I find that it's received, Kirk, by people well, it makes me so happy because that means it did for you what it did for me. And so the next part of what I'm going to share, Kirk, is going to put the icing on the cake. The stuff that's going to come out in that conversation is so powerful. And I'm going to use the Bible and all that stuff to prove it. Even more than that. So just tuning in. Holiness Vera, welcome back. Thank you. Muxi Teo Kaba. My eyes are so bad. I have to see an eye doctor. We're not Vera 747. I'll be 52 in April. My birthday's coming up. So my eyes are getting bad. I only said that because my eyes are getting bad. Peace to you and your family, Capricorn King. Thank you so much. Ada Martinez says your tour books are on the kind. Thanks. Thank you so much. On Kindle. Yeah, I put them on Kindle. I own a copy of your book, Daryl said. Thank you. I'm so glad. Use the tools. Yep, use the tools. You're welcome. Added great information to my knowledge pool. Thank you so much, Kirk. Yep, it's like what everyone gathers, we now collect from each other, and we're able to see a fuller picture. And so I'm so glad that what I shared was able to fill in certain blanks for people. Charles Conroy says, Vera, is the email to get the book or when the 5? Oh, both. Yeah. So yeah, I'll put my email again, Vera360degrees at Gmail. If you want the book, I'll even sign it for you. So, you can get it through me or you can get it through the other venues that sell it. But through me, I'll be able to sign it also. So email me and I'll send you all the information that you need for it, okay? Let me see. Looks awesome at the age fair. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mia Mana, for the knowledge. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So look, we can kind of end it in like 5 minutes. If you guys have anything you want to add or ask at the moment, I'll try to answer 3 questions of something you want to know. Okay, eucalyptus. Yep, eucalyptus. When I lived in France, they sell eucalyptus tea for the respiratory system, and that worked really well. That was another thing that I used for my daughter. And also, when you're using herbs, you want to know what works together and what doesn't. So look at what do they call that? Interactions. Look for that and do your due diligence. But usually, let me show you one more thing. So usually the herbs that I know work together for the respiratory system. On the bottle I just write lung tonic, flu, colds, respiratory issues. So this is at least maybe 12 different herbs in one jar. So this is easy for me. Rather than grabbing bags, I could just go here, and I usually use a scoop of all of it, and I put it in. After I take ginger, I cut it down to small pieces, and I boil that for at least 20 minutes. That ginger, I want every last ounce of good to come out of that ginger, because that makes the tea more effective also. And then I do like a half a lemon for each person's drink. And then I get really good honey. The honey is very important as well. So I do that. And if you put all of it together in one jar, it makes it easier for you to just grab it and boil some water and then throw that in there. Okay, guys? Yeah, I hope that it works for you guys. I hope that it works. You guys be safe out there. We're in this together. None of us have the power to stop what's happening. But just know that it will subside. It will ease up. Not at this time, 2020 through 2024/2026, because once the stuff that hits the fan, it's going to take a number of years to get back into balance for all of us. So what is happening in America is happening in our own selves, our own physical bodies, our own lives. And so as within, so without, okay? And so collectively in America, we all have manifested this creation before us. We have all contributed through our energetic codes into this paradigm. And so it seems that we're living in a Gotham City. It seems like the world, evil is winning. And that should kind of clue you guys in as to, is there a consciousness that involves itself in this place that we're in? If there is a consciousness, does it say, well, that's wrong, let me fix it? Or does that consciousness says, well, we're not going to let the evil guys win. Look at history. Who's won, right? So that kind of gives us a clue in the pattern of human history, what it is, what kind of, what the possibilities could be. We all know that being a good person is good. What if everybody was good? The world would be such a better place. But the fact of the matter is, that's not the reality. And so how do we make sense of it? How do we find our equilibrium in a paradigm like this? That's the question. But first, before we can find our equilibrium, we need to know what's going on. And that's what I want to break down more with you guys. What is going on? What does it mean? What was from the beginning that is manifesting itself now? How will it be in the future? So I just say for the next 4 years, just be ready for things to be different. And of course, hope is good, but don't stick your head in the sand. A lot of people, they want to retreat and hide. Like, I know a lot of people that were like, oh, why should we get food? This is a false flag, or this is fake, or it's just like the flu. And now we see that it's something different. It's bigger than that. Because look, whole cities are closing, whole countries are closing. And now they go to the store and there's no food. But were they trying to put their head in the sand by being so positive, this love and light stuff? There's so many people with the new age thing that they just say, think positive thoughts. Manifestation is from what your intention is. And so life, if we really examine life, we know that can't be true. Because even if you're like the healthiest person in the world, you eat right, something could happen to your health. And did you think bad thoughts to manifest that? No, you did everything you could to prevent it, but something happened, right? And so we can't put our heads in the sand and and say that hope, let's just have hope. No, let's prepare while we see things going on. Let's be realistic and not illusionary. Because there is a planet right now that will have many of us try to live in the illusion. And when we live in the illusion, then we get caught up in the reality. And so that's why I felt like today, let me just go on and speak about this so that people can prepare yourself. You still have time. There's still food in the groceries. My friend from the UK said that he spoke to the person that orders the food. And I forget exactly how he said it, but he said it takes 4 or 5 days to order it. And then it takes a month for the truck to come. So guys, think of that possibility. If China was on lockdown, that means a lot of the food that comes from China, the antibiotics, all of those things, the factories were not producing those things. Your dollar store stuff, right? A lot of the things in the grocery store, if places are on lockdown, they're not going to be manufactured. So there's going to be a shortage, right? And if the shipping company, people that ship the goods on the trucks are sick, who's going to ship that in? And if no one's manufacturing the stuff, how's the ship going to get it anyway? And if our farms in America are shutting down, how are we ever going to have self-sufficiency? That means we're going to be more dependent on the government. And the government could withhold food from us so that we obey their laws. We have to think ahead, and we have to think realistically and not try to live in an illusion. Guys, I also got a BB gun. So, BB guns are not going to kill anyone, but if you get the one that looks like a gun, it can scare someone. And not that I want to use it on anyone, but, when things are volatile and people are hungry, people get crazy. They didn't just show us these movies for nothing where these people are going crazy, right? Even if you can legally get a weapon and you're mentally well, try to do that. I got something too. Okay, so we have to be realistic. All right, guys. I'm from the UK. Okay, Bryce77, you're from the UK. Yes, a friend of mine went. I forget where he lives, but he went to the grocery stores and there was hardly anything on the shelves. And another picture that he showed me, because he sent me pictures, people were on lines like crazy. Even here where I live, people were lined up. There was no more water. There was no more toilet paper. There was no more flour. There was no more potatoes, guys. I mean, come on. So don't sleep on this, guys. Even if it turns out to be nothing, then you just use the food that you bought in the future. Okay? Oh, good. Kirky sent me a message. Yes. And if you want to join the class, I'll send you the email letting you know when that is. Okay? So again, guys, I'm going to write my email, 360degrees at Gmail. So guys, when we discuss in this class, we're going to go way back. When I wrote my book, the only way that I knew that I could find the answer was to go before all of the religious books were written, because I knew that there had to be a source, and whatever the root is what was going to teach me. And so we are going to go to all of that. We're going to visit all of it. And the proof that we are going to come out with, guys, you're just going to be like, and hopefully you're able to share it with other people. Oh my God, I was just speaking on those very issues at work. Corona is symbolic of crown. Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that too. There's a lot, guys. And when you understand the source of all this evil, everything, then your eyes will be clearer, and you'll be able to look out on the world and see everything for exactly what it is. You're not going to question what it is. You're going to know what's behind it. Okay? All right. Good. So my computer's on red. Usually I take down the live feeds from my page, but I'll leave that up for you guys. I want everybody to be able to write down the herbs and stuff if they haven't, and stuff like that. And I wish you guys well. Please take care of yourselves. I also heard don't drink cold drinks. So try to avoid the ice and stuff like that, and try to sip on warm drinks, because this virus apparently is a very wet virus. And even in astrology and stuff, when you understand how the different astrological charts are influenced by their their type of nature, there's earth signs, there's water signs, there are things like that. Those things can tell us what kind of sicknesses can evolve because of certain things. And so this particular code happens to be a very wet one. Okay, and it likes cold energy to exist, like cold areas. So in the summer, like I said, it'll ease down a bit after like April, but it may come back with a vengeance. So, and it just may be here to stay. We might always face this kind of stuff. So the information and the stuff that we provide for our homes is what's going to help us. And also with the reality, guys, that some things we just can't change. Okay, when we understand that, for me, in all my 52 years, finally getting to that point of what is helped me so much. It'll help you to cope so much. And get a lot of pineapple juice in your house. Lots and lots of pineapple juice. I'm telling you, that in itself will help you not to succumb to stuff. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you, Kirk, so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Again, my email. So write me, if not only if you want the book, but for the class, which is more important. The book is, I didn't write the whole email. The book 1 is extremely important if you have not read book 1, because that's going to get you on the page to what we're going to share in book 2. And after book 2, there's no other book for me to write. Okay, I'm going to write some children's books and astrology books, but after this information, I don't think I even have the energy to share the rest. Vitamin D3, that's right, and sunlight. Yeah, and make sure that your vitamin D has K2 in it. Okay, vitamin K2, because without that, the vitamin D doesn't synthesize within the body well. I want to be free. I've been with you since your first video. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I want to be free. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for even like, we all gravitate to the same channel if we're within the same resonancy. So thank you, guys. I wish you guys all well. Please take care of yourself and don't be afraid. Okay, just tell yourself you can do all that you can do. But if it doesn't work, then it is what it is. All right? That helps me so much. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye, guys. Take care. Be well. Be well. Be smart. Bye.